Just minutes ago, a message went out from the Oval Office that stopped the world in its tracks. After weeks of carnage, after missiles streaked across Middle Eastern skies and oil prices surged past levels not seen in decades, after military bases burned and civilians cowered in shelters from Tehran to Tel Aviv, the United States and Iran have agreed to a ceasefire. The guns are falling silent. The drones are returning to their hangars. But before you breathe a sigh of relief, understand this. The most dangerous moment in this entire conflict may not be behind us. It may be just beginning. Because what they're not telling you on the evening news, what the diplomats are carefully avoiding in their press conferences, is that this ceasefire has conditions. Conditions that neither side can actually meet. Conditions that have already been violated in the shadows. And the men in command rooms from Washington to Tehran know something that the celebrating crowds in the streets do not. This pause in the fighting isn't peace. It's a countdown. A countdown to something far worse than anything we've witnessed so far. To understand why this ceasefire is built on foundations of sand, we need to go back 72 hours. We need to examine exactly what happened, who attacked, who retaliated, and why the sequence of events that led to this fragile agreement contains within it the seeds of its own destruction. It started at 4:17 in the morning, local time, in the Persian Gulf. A convoy of Iranian Revolutionary Guard fast attack boats was conducting what Tehran described as routine patrol operations in the Strait of Hormuz. The United States Fifth Fleet, operating out of Bahrain, had been tracking these movements for hours. Tensions had already reached a breaking point following weeks of escalating provocations. Iranian-backed militias had struck American positions in Iraq and Syria. The United States had responded with airstrikes on militia command centers. Iran had promised retaliation for what it called American aggression on sovereign Iranian interests. At 4:17, something happened that changed everything. According to American military officials, one of the Iranian fast attack boats broke formation and moved aggressively toward the USS Gravely, an Arleigh Burke-class guided missile destroyer conducting freedom of navigation operations. The American vessel issued multiple warnings. The Iranian boat did not alter course. What happened next remains disputed, but the outcome is not. The Iranian vessel was destroyed. All 7 crew members were killed. Within minutes, sirens were wailing across American military installations throughout the region. Within hours, Iranian supreme leadership had convened an emergency session. Within 24 hours, the skies above the Middle East were filled with weapons of war. Iran's response came not from its navy, but from its missile forces. The Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps Aerospace Force launched a barrage of ballistic missiles targeting American positions in Iraq, Kuwait, and Bahrain. This was not the symbolic strike that some had expected. This was a coordinated military assault designed to inflict maximum casualties. Al-Assad Air Base in western Iraq took the heaviest blow. Over a dozen missiles slammed into the sprawling installation that houses American Special Operations Forces and serves as a critical logistics hub for operations across the region. The base had been struck before, back in January 2020, after the American assassination of Qasem Soleimani. But this attack was different. The missiles were more precise. The warheads were more destructive. And unlike that earlier strike, American personnel did not have hours of warning to evacuate. The casualty figures remain classified. The Pentagon has confirmed deaths but refuses to release numbers. Military analysts monitoring satellite imagery and communications intercepts estimate the toll could be in the dozens. Some fear it may be higher. But here's what most people don't know. Al-Assad was not the primary target. It was a diversion. While American attention focused on the Iraqi desert, a second wave of Iranian missiles was already in flight. These weapons were aimed at something far more valuable, something the United States has spent decades and billions of dollars building, something that represents the crown jewel of American power projection in the Middle East. Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar. This is not just another military installation. This is the nerve center of American air operations across the entire region. Al Udeid houses the Combined Air Operations Center, the command hub that coordinates every American aircraft flying missions from Afghanistan to Syria. It hosts tanker aircraft that keep American fighters in the sky. It shelters intelligence platforms that watch everything moving across the Middle East. And it contains something else, something that makes it irreplaceable.